So having already created our database, it's time to start with the different modules. And saying different modules, it means the different activities or the different screens that we are going to build for the application. Why the course is structured like that? Because behind the visualization of each of the activities stay two things. First, we are going to retrieve the information from a CSV file, and after that, we are going to insert it into the database. The second step is retrieving back the data, but this time from the database, and inserting it into different Android widgets. Okay, having said that, it's time to start with the categories module. Or in other words, first we are going to work on the visualization, on the user interface part, and after that, we are going to manipulate the database in order to be able to take the information from there. Every time when you start building a software product, doesn't matter what type of, it's important to have an idea what you want to achieve at the end. Considering here the fact that probably you are working by yourselves and you are creating an application that you decided to do, there is no one that is going to give you the guidelines. Because of that, it's of vital importance you to create your mock-up sessions, you to have your drawing of what needs to be visualized, and after that to start working. Because if you have no idea what you want to visualize at the end, it's impossible to visualize it after that. It's just is going to be quite harder. Okay, so here is our mock for the categories activity. What we have, first the header saying choose a category, and after that enumeration of the categories we are going to insert. How we are going to insert them? Just in a CSV file, as I've already told you. So in order this one to be done, first you need to add a new activity to your activities package, calling it categories activity. If you go to your manifest, you will see that the main activity is the one with the launching filter. Because of that, I advise you on creating just a button now for testing purposes that will point to the categories activity. Why? Because our work on the main activity visualization is going to be a little bit later. There is no retrieval of data there. There is only visualization. So it will be one of the last steps we are going to implement. First, we are to work on the different modules. But in order you to be able to test them, you need to have a button into the main activity leading to the categories activity. Having done this, you may continue with the tutorial. Okay, so we are opening the layout of the categories activity, and we are inserting here the widgets that we are going to need. Based on our mock, we have a text view that is going to hold the information on the top of the activity, and the list view. The list view is to consist of different rows, each of them with a corresponding data inserted. The text view has a layout width, which is identical to the parent, or to the linear layout, which is on the top of the tree, and has height, which is to match the content, to wrap what is given in the content of the text view. The string visualization is extracted again because if, for example, you need your application once to be translated into a different language, it's of vital importance all text values to be into this string file. Otherwise, you need to go through roundabouts in order to be able to translate all of the text of your application. So the resource that the text points to says that the value is going to be choose a category. You may modify it as you want. After that follows the list view widget. The list view widget has an ID which needs to point to the Android ID /list, then some paddings just for better visualization, and last but not least, these are the two obligatory items that always need to be present within a widget specification, exactly layout width and layout height. When we use list view in our activity, there are two things you need to remember. First, the corresponding activity needs to extend a list activity. This is the first one. And then I told you that the list view is going to visualize something on each of the rows. So this visualization needs to be extracted into a different layout, into a list category XML. Going to the list category XML, firstly, it's to look like that. We are having a linear layout as a basic layout with a gravity in the center because we want all of our categories to be centralized. And after that, you remember from the mock that we are to visualize just the name of the category. So we need actually just one text view which has ID, layout width, and layout height. Okay. Then we are moving back to our categories activity, and we will use first, just for the sake of the mocking the visualization, a list adapter. A list adapter out of an array adapter. First, we are defining an array of strings out of which we are going to extract the information we need. And after that, we need to point the current context of the activity to a list adapter that we are setting. What is the structure of the simplest list adapter? We are taking the context. We are saying what kind of layout or where the list view to be searching for visualization. After that, we are saying what is the ID of the widget within the list category layout, in our case, the text view. And last but not least, we are setting from where to read, from where we are giving the data. When you run the application, so far it works on this way. And obviously it needs some improvement. So we are going on and doing some of the improvements. We are moving to the style file in order to add a new style called view header. And this view header we are to insert in all of the headers of each of the activities in the application. Just because we are going to use it several times, it's better to be extracted into the styles file and to be referred when needed after that. What we put here, first the obligatory attributes, layout width and layout height. After that we have the size of the text. Then we are saying what margins and paddings are to be inserted. Again, it's just for better visualization and for better centralization of the objects. How you're going to modify it and how you're going to revert it depends on your own preferences. Some extra attributes that we are adding is bolding the text first of all. After that, seeing the color of the text to be particular. In our case, simple black. You may refer, either to the system colors of the Android API, or you may define your own colors into the colors XML. And we are saying that we want as a background of the header to be orange, whole orange dark. It's again a system color of Android. Good. After defining our style, we are attributing it to the text view, and our screen starts looking a little bit better. The next step is to add some styles to the different category rows in order they to be better visualized as well. We are going to the list item visualization, and we are defining a new style, a new item, style item, into our styles file, calling it list text. Again, first we are having the width and the height, then the text size. After that, some layout paddings and margins for better visualization. We are centralizing the text that is going to be in each of the rows. We are saying what color and what styles to be applied. And once these being changed, the screen starts looking a little closer to what we expected. Because it will be better the background of the whole application to be darker, whereas the text to be lighter, we are changing the color into the linear layout on the top of the hierarchical tree. Here I just wanted to show you that you may again use colors, system colors from Android, as well as your owns on the way I define them here. You need the RGB visualization, and after that you need to refer to the name you have attributed the particular color with. The only thing that still is missing, and the last thing of this visualization we want to add, is in fact the line separator. It just gives some better visualization, some better experience to the user, and because of that it's better to be added after each row, after each category is enumerated. How it's done? Within the list view widget, we are adding first the divider, saying what color we want it to be with, and then we are saying the height, or in other words, how thick the line to be. Perfect. So what we've done so far is having the visualization within our categories activity. The next step is to get rid of this hard coding of the categories and to take in fact the information from the database and into the database from a CSV file. See you in a minute.